Hey, I thought I would just post a video of the day before surgery. So tomorrow I have to be at the hospital at 12:15 and then my son's being loud. I don't know if you can hear that. He's up there laughing. 12:15 tomorrow, and then I'm guessing that I will get checked in and everything, and sometime around 2 something I'll be in surgery. And that was my doctor's estimate. I had gone in on Friday for a checkup. Well, not a checkup, review of my CT scan and a physical examination to see how I was doing. And the doctor said, "So I have an opening on Tuesday." And immediately I was like, okay. In the back of my mind, I'm going, oh my goodness. But then I just kind of felt like that was God's timing. So I really wanted another week and a half because I'll show you what I've been working on. Well, you can kind of see here. Let's see if I can show you all these straps that I still kind of want to finish before tomorrow. And I'm working on cutting leather as well. So you can see I'm cutting leather right there. It's hard to point with this going this way. But anyway, I'll show you the other things that the last couple weeks I've been working on is this. All those straps. But all of these straps need ends on them. And I thought, oh, well, this is good. I'll get this done first. And then I will have hopefully another week and a half, and I will have the leather done. And then I'll get those done, and my inventory will be full. And then I can relax and, like not really worry about much about straps because I'll be well stocked before surgery. But God had other plans. So, and you can see this shelving over here, you usually see those 2 stacks right there of fabric. I usually have this whole thing pretty full with fabric. Those baskets usually don't go there. Oh well, that's just the way it is. And I'm not going to be able to lift anything over 5 pounds for like, they said for about 4 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. But that's okay. I have other things to work on. I've got bookkeeping to do. I'm bad about bookkeeping. I have to do all my bookkeeping for like 7 months of last year still and all of this year. So I'm going to get caught up because honestly, if I just did it every month, it would be done. And it would take me maybe like, I don't know, an hour and a half a month, maybe 2 hours to get it done. So I just, God's providing the time. So I also have some crocheting that I need to finish anyway, and so that's going to keep me busy. But sorry, my brain still goes like flits from one thing to the next. Doop, boop, boop. So surgery, I'm really nervous still, and I'm not so worried about the surgery itself. I'm worried about the incision, because that incision goes from like right here all the way down to right at my private area. It's going to be a scar all the way down my belly. And it's not centered. He's going to off-center it because he wants to go on one side of my belly button. So I should come out with a belly button unless I do have a hernia there that I didn't know about. And he said, typically we can fix a hernia and you don't lose your belly button. But there's always the possibility. And I'm like, but I like my belly button. It's cute. I want to keep it. It's so silly. And I was even laughing with the doctor. I'm like, it's so ridiculous, everything I'm going through. And I'm like, but I want to keep my belly button. It proves that I'm human, as my daughter says. Oh well, it is what it is. And then my other worry was having to come out with a colostomy bag. And the doctor said he's not in the business of making promises, but from everything he can tell from the physical examination and the CT scan, it really looks promising that I won't have that, because he did a drawing and he said, like, the top, like, he showed the rectum coming down, and he said, drew a line at the top and drew a line closer towards the bottom. And he said that big section, if I hadn't had any chemo ahead of time, that's how much he would have had to take out. Yeah, had to take out. But he said now it's that much. So, I know, crossing my fingers. I'm praying. Praying really hard that that's true, that it will be fine. And he said the only other issue might be that he might have to take a small portion out of my bladder, but he's not sure about that. But he said usually they can just stitch that up and I'll be fine. So I'm just like hoping that that isn't even a factor. So, and from what he was describing, it sounds like this shrank more than what I estimated from like the description from the CT scan or whatever. Anyway, oh, the other thing he said was, like here's your cancer, and we want you to like have chemo, and your cancer goes way down like this, way down here, because basically that says, you have no cancer. And oops, why did that go? That moved on me. And he said, then there's those that have chemo, and it just kind of like goes like this, and then they don't really see any benefit of having surgery. He says, but we're not talking about that with you. Here's your cancer, and it came down like this, and it didn't come down as low as we wanted, but it came down, and so we're going to do the surgery, and the surgery will help. So that's good news. I'm hoping that's not a factor as far as long term, and whether the cancer will come back or not later. At the stage I'm at, 60% of women do see a reoccurrence and die with the reoccurrence. So I have a 40, it's like, for some of them say 40%, some say 43%, others say 48%, but under a 50% chance of survival past 2 years. But you know what? God's bigger than that. And so I have all you guys praying for me, and I am really being proactive with my health, and I'm going to continue to lose weight and work on staying healthy. And when I can get back to exercising, I will get back to exercising, and yeah, it's just more about eating healthy and getting to an ideal weight and doing what I can do, and then just leaving it in God's hands and praying and having all of you as my family and friends around me and praying for me. And so, yeah, thank you, Ingrid. God is a miracle worker, definitely. I trust in that a lot. One of the things that God has done for me through this, I used to be really afraid of dying. And it's not that I'm not afraid anymore, but I've realized why I have a little bit of fear. It's because I don't deal with change very well and unknown. And some of the thoughts of heaven is unknown to me. It's so beyond our mental comprehension, but we know that there's no pain and suffering. And then the other part of it is that I feel like I'm kind of the glue that holds my little tiny family together. And not that they couldn't do it without me, they can, but I don't want them to do it without me. So I just feel like there's so much more for me still to be and do, and but God's taken me, bringing me closer. It was interesting too, because Dan and I were talking about sanctification, and when we were talking about that together, then my thoughts went to the Holy Spirit and the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. And I said, well, that's different. Where sanctification's like that instant thing. The indwelling of the Holy Spirit happens, and you always have Him, but there's that renewal. And I think through this, I have that renewal, feeling more connected to the Holy Spirit and the workings of the Holy Spirit in my life. And, it's a lot to go through for something like that to happen. But if this is what it took to get my attention, then that's what God needed to use this for that, and I'm just really grateful, because I feel like I've I'm understanding who God is better, and feeling more confident in my salvation. I mean, I'm confident in my salvation, but confident in the rest of God, the peace, and not fearful. Thank you, Ingrid. God's peace, definitely. I still have chemo brain. It's like I know I want to say, but the words are hard. So I'm like, Lord, hopefully my work here isn't done, or the work that you have to do through me isn't done, so I can keep doing, and that he'll just show me more of what he wants from me. So, but tomorrow is going to be successful, and I'm going to come through that. I will have a 4 to 5 hour surgery, 3 to 5 days in the hospital, and then I'm going to come home. I love you all as my friends and family, but the weird COVID restrictions and stuff, don't worry about coming to the hospital. And if you do want to visit me, please give me a heads up notice, like a day or two ahead of time before you come to the house, and understand that maybe 10 to 15 minutes is all I can handle. But don't feel like, honestly, I don't expect anybody to come over. Messages, text messages, email messages, those are great. Just knowing that you guys are praying for me, that's really what I need. And it's really been a blessing through all of this so far that I've gone through, getting those text messages and emails and Facebook messages, and all the love that you guys have for me. So I really appreciate you, and I call out each and every one of you, but I promise you, I probably have like 50 people that I have to name. I'm realizing how many friends I have. I didn't realize how many friends I had. So thank you. I feel very blessed. Anyway, I'm going to let you go and not bore you anymore. But thank you. I love you all so much. Thank you so much. Bye.